My name is Leilani Thatcher, a tour guide at the Library of Lost Things. This is The Doorstep Project, episode 19, The Fall of Arcadia. This week we'll open a box from a few months ago. It has been opened before, but not by me. I've never gone through it. It's a plain cardboard box, 2 feet deep, 1 foot tall, 2 feet wide. It was left at the back door of the museum, discovered by the night guard when he was leaving after his shift. The security footage from that night is corrupted, as it always is when boxes show up. The address is fake, claiming to be in Ontario, Canada. Instead of a fake name, though, the sender is listed as The Doorstep Project. So I guess the unknown person listens to the podcast. I am both annoyed and honored. There are some very fragile pieces in this box, so we're going to go through them carefully. Everything in the box was wrapped very carefully in a large scarf. The fabric is light and fine. It's mostly white, with gold and blue around the border. According to our historical analyst we sent it to, it's a few 100,000 years old. It's made of some unidentified animal wool. The analyst couldn't figure out what animal it was, but it's really soft. Well, I've been told it's soft. I'm wearing gloves to protect the fabric. And the stitching is close and fine. Very nice. No fraying, even after so many years, although it probably sat in this box for most of its life. Then we have the vase. It's made of glass with very similar designs to the scarf. It's mostly white, but along the bottom are blue and gold lines intertwining in an intricate braid. I don't know how glass works, but I know that the design is impressive. When you Google braid design in glass vase, some very cool vases come up, but it's nothing like this. I can't find anything that looks similar to it. It's almost like it's a completely separate piece of art used to replace a section of the vase. It's very pretty. The next piece is a jewelry box painted gold. It's 6 inches wide, 3 inches tall, and 5 inches deep. Analysis shows that the paint used on the box had gold dust in it to make the color. It's made of walnut wood, and according to Gavin, whoever painted over the walnut wood committed a crime against wood. Walnut wood is a very dark, rich-colored wood with good grain that generally looks better without paint, at least according to Gavin. Personally, I love the gold color, but I'm sure the wood is beautiful as well. Inside the jewelry box were a few very nice pieces of jewelry. There's a gold necklace with blue gems, which we believe are blue zircon. There are a handful of gold rings, most of which have a very simple 3-strand braid pattern, very similar to the vase. There's a few rings with gems set in them, including blue zircon, black jade, and a few diamonds. There were some round beads in the box as well that seemed like they were strung together at one point with light, thin rope, but the rope has decayed over the years in the box. Of course, then, there's the painting. It's of a woman, dark skin, green eyes, and dark braided hair. She's wearing I would call it a headband, but I get the distinct impression it's a crown. It's made of feathers that seem to have some kind of glint, which may be from the kind of paint or style of painting. She's wearing a gold necklace without stones or gems, just a few flat ornaments hanging off the chain. She's wearing a very beautiful dress, albeit a simple one. It's plain white with gold braids for straps instead of sleeves. She's wearing a scarf around her head behind the crown. The scarf seems to be the same one that was protecting the vase and jewelry box. Her braided hair lays over her left shoulder, the scarf lying underneath it. Her right hand touches her crown gently, and the other is lying on her lap, her fingers closed. You can clearly see her nails are painted a deep blue color. There are 3 rings on her fingers, 2 on her left hand, 1 on her right. All of them are the braided gold rings, like the ones in the jewelry box. She's smiling. She looks very happy. There's no painter's signature, and the paint seems to be made of various materials and dyes, some ancient paint process. It's on a canvas of some kind, very old, with a wood frame, also made of walnut wood. The woman in this painting is definitely wealthy, possibly royalty if the feather headband is actually a crown, like I suspect. especially if this box is hers. Painting with gold powder is probably the most extravagant thing I've seen in this library. Lastly, there's a letter. It's not nearly as old as the rest of the contents. It's written in English, but there are some words that don't seem to fit, almost like it was translated directly from a language. At least that's what our historians think. Some words don't have a direct translation, so the translator did the best they could. I wish we had the original text, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was supposed to be in the box and it was replaced by whoever sent this, because there's just more space in this box for more stuff, but it's mostly air and scarf. Anyway, here's the letter. Arcadia did not fall quietly. It did not fade out of existence. Its fall was not slow or steady. It did not disappear over the course of a few decades of forgotten history. It was a cacophonous moment. It was time without sound, but the people could hear it. There was a word spoken, and the queen was silenced. Before the fall, the children could not understand, and they tried their best to defend them. The oldest began to fight with their neighbors, and there was no street without flooded fear and blood. Fathers found food, mothers found refuge, and children found that families could no longer support them. The queen was afraid and cried for assist. Then a deal was made by the void, and she won. What do you do when Arcadia falls apart? Arcadia became what it was, to never to be seen again by human eyes, only by the eternal that keeps it as it is. Strange, right? This could be from ancient Arcadia in Greece. It could be a story of the fall of the mythological land Arcadia, or the story of the natives who lived in actual Arcadia. But we have no proof. We know that the wood the jewelry box is made of is walnut, which can be found in Greece. The colors are white, blue, and gold, which are all colors that are commonly associated with Greece, but the monarchy mentioned doesn't line up with any history at all. And that area of Greece called Arcadia has very little recorded history that I can find. Local Greeks may know more, though. What we do know is that these pieces of history, aside from the letter that came in the box, are old. According to our archaeologists, all of the contents of the box are over 200,000 years old, one of the oldest things in our library. We have no idea where they came from. The clothes from the painting could fit various cultures. The letter doesn't have any geographical information, only vague mentions of the falling of some civilization. I wonder if this was translated from another language without direct meanings for some words. I wonder if Arcadia wasn't the proper name of the place. The word Arcadia comes from Greek mythology. It was a safe place, the homeland of the god Pan and the forest spirits. It became a word to mean idyllic or untouched land. It's an innocent place where only animals and natives live. The definition of the word changed over time, and nowadays the word Arcadia is used to mean heaven on earth or utopia. But the idea of this Arcadia exists with the understanding that Arcadia cannot exist. It is only an idea. There is no innocent place, no heaven on earth. There is no perfect utopia. Maybe this wasn't the fall of a place called Arcadia. Maybe it was the moment that the people realized that their perfect civilization wasn't possible. Or maybe it's just a story. Either way, something to think on. Thank you for listening to The Doorstep Project. This audio drama was created and produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. If you enjoyed the podcast, leave a rating and review on your podcast app of choice or share it with a friend. Leilani and the project will be back next week. Until then, write every day. One day your story could be in a museum. The Doorstep Project is produced by Family Friendly Podcasts. It was written, edited, and performed by AJ Barton. Sound effects for this podcast are provided by Zapsplat. Music used in this podcast includes Reawakening by Kevin McLeod, licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. You can learn more at his website, incompetech.com, or at creativecommons.org. Both music and sound effects have been changed and edited by AJ Barton. Links for websites, information, and contact can be found in the description of the episode. Would you like to submit your story or art to the Doorstep Project? You can find information for story submission at familyfriendlypodcast.com/The Doorstep Project. Information on CC by 4.0 licenses can be found at creativecommons.org.